Hello there, my name's Card, and here on my YouTube page I like to make simple little videos about all sorts of things which interest me. And today I just want to briefly explain something of an online shibboleth. For those who might not know, a shibboleth is a term, a phrase, or a symbol which usually seems meaningless or mysterious to most people, but which really communicates a deeper hidden meaning to those in the know. Additionally, there'll also be a playlist of videos of mine linked at the top of the description which goes into detail about all sorts of online shibboleths and what they mean. Today specifically, I want to talk about a signal of sorts made by invoking the president's shoelaces, what that means, and how it's become something of an inside joke in certain online spaces. Long story short, the personal microblogging website Tumblr launched in 2007, and it pretty quickly started developing its own little community with in-jokes and references as people made and spread content on the site, and as the website's target demographics settled in and began discovering all the special interests they had in common. One post on the site, from quite early into Tumblr's lifetime now, which ended up becoming very virally popular over there, semi-jokingly suggested that there should be a way for two Tumblr users to identify one another in public without anyone risking the potential embarrassment of just openly identifying yourself as a Tumblr user to someone who actually turns out not to be. To this end, this post, which is now remembered as one of the first big Tumblr posts to circulate on the site, recommended that the two hypothetical people in this sort of situation should use some sort of signal and counter-signal method of identifying one another with some plausible deniability then. And what the community came up with ended up being the instigating person says to someone else, who they suspect is also a Tumblr user, you say to them, "I like your shoelaces." To which the counter response is meant to be, "Thank you, I stole them from the president." Now, I think it's worth noting, this isn't something anyone ever took seriously. It was likely only ever just something of a website-specific internet meme for a little while, and probably not anything any person, or at least any adult, has ever earnestly tried to signal to someone in real life with. But I also want to note, as an old meme, it's not even particularly relevant on contemporary Tumblr nowadays, and it hasn't been in quite some time. On the whole, the only time the whole stole the president's shoelaces thing is referenced at all is when veteran Tumblr users want to make a slightly obscure referential in-joke about something that used to be prominent on the site, that newer users and outsiders won't so easily pick up on. So I think it's neat then that in a way it's come full circle. It's a simple online shibboleth, but not for saying you were merely on Tumblr 10 plus years ago, but for saying you remember the days when people on Tumblr were having goofy fun over stuff like this. It wasn't a real shibboleth then, but it almost kinda is now. That's all I have to say today. I hope it helps. Once again, my name's Card. If you want to hear more from me, especially more about dated or obscure online shibboleths and what they mean, feel free to subscribe to this YouTube page, or just take a look at my other videos. Either way, goodbye for now, and have a lovely day.